Hi, in the last video we took a look on the integers and floating point literals, hexadecimal, octal and binary literals, complex number and built-in numeric tools. In this video we will continue to see the numeric object types and their operations. Python expression operators. Perhaps the most fundamental tool that processes number is the expression. A combination of numbers or the other objects and the operators that computes a value when executed by the Python. In Python, you write expression using the usual mathematical notation and operator symbols. For instance, to add two numbers x and y, you would say x plus y, which tells Python to apply plus operator to the values are named y, x and y. The result of the expression is the sum of x and y, and that is also another number object. Operator precedence. As in the most language and in Python, you code more complex expressions by stringing together the operator's expression. For instance, the sum of two multiplication might be written as a mix of variable and operators. So here a into b plus c into d. So how does Python know which operation to perform first? So the answer of this question lies in operator precedence. When we write an expression with more than one operator, Python grouped its parts according to what are called precedence rule. And this group determines the order in which the expression's parts are computed. So there are certain rules which Python follows for the operator precedence. For example, plus, minus, multiplication, division and floor division, then exponent, L power. So these operators from top to bottom, the precedence is increasing, means there is a plus, minus and multiplication. So first multiplication will be done and then this addition or subtraction will be taken care. So as we come from top to bottom, the precedence will increase in the Python. So you can forget about precedence completely if you are careful to group parts of expression with parentheses. So it's better say instead, if you write an expression for like this, a into b plus c into d, so better to group this in the parentheses. When we enclose separation in parentheses, you override the Python's precedence rule. Python always evaluates expression parentheses first before using the result in enclosing expressions. So either you can write this expression as this, or if you want to do, and whole is divided by d. So you are forcing the Python to execute first b plus c, then multiply the result of b plus c to a and then divide by d. These are the Python precedence, and you can suppress using the parentheses by grouping the way you want to perform the operation. Mix type. Beside mixing operators in expression, you can also mix numeric types. For instance, you can add an integer to a floating point number. So here 20 is an integer and 1.22 is a floating point number. But this leads to another question. What type is the result? Integer or floating point? Yeah, the answer is simple, especially if you have used almost any other language before. In mixed type numeric expression, Python first convert operands up to the type of the most complicated operand and then perform the math on the same type operands. Python ranks the complexity of the numeric type like so. Uh, Integers are simpler than floating point numbers, which is simpler than the complex number. So if we see the complexity in Python, integers are less complex than floats. Floats are less complex than complex number, and so on. Also keep in mind that all these mixed type conversions apply only when mixing numeric types. For example, an integer and a floating point in an expression, including those using numeric and comparison operators. Operator order overloading. Python itself automatically overloads some operators such that they perform different actions depending upon the type of built-in object being processed. For example, this plus operator performs addition when applied with the numbers, but perform concatenation when applied to sequence object such as strings list. In fact, plus means anything at all when applied to the object you define with class. This property is usually called polymorphism. A term indicating that the meaning of an operation depends upon the type of object being operated on. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.